So Echoes on Netflix is an incredible watch. What caught your attention about this project?
Well, I think why a lot of people are so invested in it and interested in it is the twists and turns of it. Reading the project or reading the script and actually seeing it come to life, it's like two different worlds. And yeah, I like the idea of having the viewers on the edge of their seats and kind of nervous or scared of what's going to happen next. I like that the feeling of that. And so when I read the script, I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely something I want to do.
How do you prepare for a character like yours? Because you have to interact with a character that is called a complete psychopath.
Yeah, well, my character Meg, she doesn't know that her best friend is a psychopath, and she doesn't know that her best friend and her sister switched places with each other. So, the whole time that Meg, my character, thinks that she's friends with Lenny, her best friend, it could very well be her sister Gina. Um, so I kind of approached the role from a different place because I know that Meg has a lot of internal things going on, and she doesn't really know how to confront all of the things that's going on inside of her, and then she finally just blows and she lets out her secrets, she lets out Lenny's secrets. So yeah, I just kind of went toward the approach of like the best friends and found the humanity and love there and went from there.
How much discussion went on with the director? Because you as an actress, you know which sister you're talking to, but as a best friend, you have no idea. How do
Right.
you keep that composure as an actress?
Yeah, it was confusing. Okay. It was very confusing. And the directors, I'm so grateful that I was able to work. I mean, it's a female driven story
Mhm.
and it's also directed by female directors. So there were four directors that directed the seven episodes. And there was so much communication going on between myself, the director, Michelle. Um, I was able to throw my ideas in or where I thought my character was coming from and get the ideas from the director. And we were kind of like bouncing things off of each other. So it was very much a creative process, which I really appreciated because sometimes you just got to go in there and do what the director says and you don't really have a say so. So to be able to come from my experience as Alise, the actor, but also bring what I think Meg would say and do and how she would react. That was fun.
That creative process and being able to um, share that with the director and have your voice heard as well. Is that common in projects? Is that something that all directors are open to?
I would not say all directors are open to that. From my experience, I'm so grateful that I have been working with directors who are open to that. Like working with Tyler Perry on the set of Ruthless, we have free reign for the most part. We are able to bring in all of our ideas, and he rarely ever says no or what are you doing or don't do that. He just lets us go with it, and so I think as a creator, as an artist, that's very important to be able to bring what we see, how we see the character coming from, or what, their ideas, their views, and to be able to implement that in the way that we see fit. I think that's important.
And representation is always important. I think Tyler Perry is at the forefront of that, has has been for a long time. How important is that for you?
It's so important. And I feel like I get these questions more and more these days, but inclusion and diversity is not only like it's a necessity, it's something that we need. And we've, for so many years, we didn't see Black and Brown people in playing some of these lead roles, some of these amazing roles. And now that it's something that's more common, listen, we can't revert back to the way it used to be. We have to continue to tell our stories, because who is better to tell these stories than the people who have actually lived through them and experienced them?
Yeah, and you've had major roles in Mixed-ish and other shows like that. So how important is it for you as an actress to look for diverse roles, not just like the typical, um, I guess, African American roles, but
Yeah.
roles that may not be exactly written for African Americans, but they can easily play.
Well, that's what I was saying. I think that that's important. Like, there's some stories that only African Americans can play, right?
Mhm,
Only a Latino can play, only a white person can play. But there are a lot of these stories that are broad, and
mhm.
the depending on who the story is told from, that's the perception that you're going to get. So, the way I tell a story and the way you would tell a story would be two completely different stories. And, little black and brown girls looking at the television and being able to relate and say, oh, I can see myself in that woman, I can see myself in that story. That makes all the difference.
Echoes and Relentless are very different shows. For you, what has been your favorite role to play?
Oh, that's a hard one because I feel like as an actor, you have to find the love in every character, even if they're hard to love, or even when you're reading the script, if it's something that you do not agree with, or something that is just so far removed from you. You have to find the love there. Um, and so I try to do that with every character. When it comes to Ruthless, that's a very dark, heavy story, and I think that that story is a very important story that needs to be told, because there are people to this day who are going through that same situation in a cult. So to be able to tell that story truthfully and speak from Lacey, the rawness and the vulnerability of that is very, very important. And then I also loved Meg. I loved Meg on Echoes. I feel like, she was she's a woman who's a little unsure of herself, and she doesn't know how, she's sure of herself. She doesn't know how to present herself to the world. And because of the life that she has, the family, and all of the baggage from the past, it's hard for her to step out into her new future. But both of those characters, Meg and Lacey, they really do hold a spot near and dear to my heart.
Having such free range with these characters, how much of Elise the actress is in these characters?
I bring a lot of Elise to these characters. You know, I I feel, thank God I've never been through a sex cult before, but there are some things that Lacey goes through that I can relate to, and yeah, I bring a lot of my humanity to the characters.
Awesome. And you mentioned about challenging yourself as an actress. What kind of roles challenge you? What kind of roles would you like to play that to, I guess, improve on your craft?
Yeah, I think the same type of roles that I've been playing, because I can see that it has like it's stretching me and making me grow. And even sometimes while I'm going through it, if it's uncomfortable, once I'm through it and I look back, it's a world of a difference from where I started to where I am now. So I love the heavy, dark, cry at the kitchen sink dramas. Even though I love comedy and I want to do more comedy work, I think that for me, in my experience, the heavy, raw work is something that really stretches me.
Is there any upcoming projects that you're able to talk about?
Well, you guys just have to wait and see.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time. You're a fantastic actress. You're
Thank you.
extremely captivating on Echoes.
Thank
And thank
you.
you once again.
Thank you so much for your time. Have a good one.